let's get right into a pretty stark warning about a potential war between the US and Iran. Now, this isn't just media speculation. This is a direct assessment from a national security insider who has seen these kinds of threats up close.
And that quote right there, it really sets the tone for everything we're about to discuss. It's from the expert we're going to be talking about, and it frames this as an urgent message, maybe a final warning before, in his view, a catastrophe unfolds.
Okay, so let's get into the details of this really grave warning, and maybe more importantly, who exactly is sounding the alarm. So the man raising this flag is David Pine, and his words carry some serious weight. We're not talking about theories here. We're talking about insights that come from direct experience at the highest levels of U.S. national security. When he speaks, it's a perspective from deep inside the system. And here is the absolute core of his argument. Pine believes the U.S. is making a fundamental miscalculation. The belief that Iran is weak, that it would just fold under pressure, he calls that a dangerous fantasy, one that completely ignores how they could actually retaliate. So how would a miscalculation like that actually play out in the real world? Well, Pine starts with the most visible symbols of American power out there, its naval forces. Just think about this number for a second. $20 billion. That's roughly what a single U.S. aircraft carrier costs. It's not just a warship, right? It's a floating fortress, a symbol of dominance, and of course, an incredibly high-value target. And this is where Pine's analysis gets really, really interesting. You see, he says Iran's goal isn't necessarily to sink one of these massive carriers. Their objective is much simpler, and honestly, far more achievable. Just take it out of the fight. Because a so-called mission kill would be absolutely devastating. A direct hit could cause uncontrollable fires, making the ship totally useless. But the real damage? It's psychological. The image of a $20 billion American carrier burning on the news, that would shatter the perception of U.S. invulnerability overnight. And here's how that mission kill becomes terrifyingly possible. His assessment states pretty bluntly that Iran has hypersonic missiles. We're talking about weapons that move so fast and so unpredictably that our current defense systems just can't guarantee they can stop them. But the threat isn't just about missiles and carriers. Pine's analysis reveals that the next battlefield could be one we can't even see. Let's look at the asymmetric and hidden threats. He highlights that Iran has already shown it can target critical civilian infrastructure. This isn't theoretical. We're talking about the ability to turn off your water, your electricity, and the entire digital backbone of our society. And the fallout from that kind of attack wouldn't be over in a day. The picture he paints is of a major cyber attack causing societal chaos for weeks, maybe even months. Imagine entire systems just going dark, not because of a bomb, but because of a keyboard. And this leads us to what is probably the most chilling part of his entire assessment. Pine doesn't hedge here. He poses the question that many people in Washington try to avoid. What if Iran's nuclear program is way more advanced than we're being told? He personally believes it's likely they already have them. And if he's right about that, the stakes become almost unimaginable. Pine's conclusion is stark. A full-scale war with a nuclear-capable Iran isn't about winning or losing anymore. It's about a potential death toll in the millions. You know, a conflict of this size would never just stay regional. The consequences, the ripples, would be felt all across the globe, affecting everything from security alliances to the economy. For decades, right, the U.S. was seen as the ultimate protector in the Middle East, the one who guarantees security for its allies. This was the absolute bedrock of its influence in the region. But according to Pine's analysis, that whole illusion is now cracking. Arab states are starting to make their own side deals, realizing the U.S. might not be able to shield them from the fallout of a wider conflict. They're losing faith. And this is so critical. Iran is not standing alone in this. It has strategic relationships with countries that have mastered this kind of asymmetric warfare. Think about North Korea's hacking armies, China's ability to penetrate networks, Russia's skill at disrupting military communications. It's a coalition of capabilities. The economic pain would be immediate, and it would be felt by everyone. A war would cause oil prices to soar overnight. That means higher gas prices, rampant inflation, and a direct hit to the global economy. And yeah, to your wallet. So let's bring this all back to the central theme of his warning, a disastrous miscalculation that could push the entire world past a point of no return.
He basically breaks down the flawed logic here. Step 1, you overestimate your own power. Step 2, you underestimate the consequences. Step 3, you trigger a catastrophe. Applying that kind of thinking to a military conflict is a recipe for disaster.
And this slide really sums up the core fantasy that Pine is trying to dismantle. This idea that Iran is fragile, that it's alone, and can't fight back. In his view, that is the single most dangerous assumption guiding U.S. strategy right now. Which brings us to his ultimate conclusion, and really, it's not a suggestion or a recommendation, it's a plea. Given the catastrophic potential for physical, economic, and reputational damage, the only logical path forward is to de-escalate. And so, this is where we're left. Pine is describing a situation where time is extremely limited, where tensions are incredibly high, and where one wrong move could trigger a chain reaction. His warning has been issued. The final question is, will anyone listen?